Hey guys, Chris with another fine episode of The Walking Dead, and the end is nearly here. So, in probably one of the best episodes that I've seen this season, apart from probably the mid-season finale, the one that came before the mid-season finale, and probably arguably the premiere, this episode broke down a whole bunch of stuff, and I'm going to try and cover as much as I can. So let's go ahead and break it down. So basically, this whole episode went into three separate storylines. The two I think had the most impact. The third one was kind of a little bit more of character development, but a big WTF towards the end of the episode, and I'm going to get to that. But you have the Maggie and Gregory relationship in the middle half of the episode, where you have Gregory kind of contemplating, just like, oh, should I kill Maggie? Should I take up on Simon's offer? Should I go back and establish authority here in the hilltop and everything? And for the most part, Gregory's sort of like, he's inching his way over and is kind of like, I'm not really sure. But then he has that moment where, like, he's defenseless, he's helpless, and then he has to go back and ask Maggie, just like, okay, you need to help me or else I'm going to die out here. And Maggie obviously does, and it, further establishes why she's obviously the right person to lead the hilltop going forward onto war against the saviors and just, in general. Also, another moment which maybe a couple people who have read the comics may notice. I noticed there's that beginning moment of the episode where Maggie is planting flowers with this guy, and he's sort of like a tidbit, flirting with her a little bit. And if I'm not mistaken, I want to say that's Dante from the comics. And if that is, I'm really hyped that he's entering the TV universe. So I'm just happy to see what they do with his character going forward, because he's a big part of the whole Whisper War conflict and the going forward into All Out War, I believe. But besides that, on the other flip side, you have Sasha dealing with Negan, who got captured by Negan, and is basically, Negan's trying to flip her and basically say, oh yeah, you should join us, you could be so much more if you're a savior. And then he's saying like, oh yeah, Rick's up to no good. And Sasha is just like, she just wants to die. She has absolutely had it by this point in the season. She has lost so much, lost Bob, lost Abraham, and she's just completely down on her luck and just tells Eugene at one point, just like, give me a gun and let me kill myself, because I am done, completely done, and I can't take it anymore. And Eugene just gives her the bullet, and she's just completely upset, just like, no, this is not what I wanted. And she's just on her own little roller coaster ride and everything. And we got a couple good Negan scenes here and there, but it was interesting to see just how far her character has gone down. And then you have, on the other side, you have Rick and his group and the rest of the members of Alexandria going to Oceanside to take the weapons and sort of kind of convince them to join and take their fight in the savior against the saviors. And for the most part, the leader, forget her name, Taria, something with a T. I keep forgetting. But they ask her to join, and she's just like, no, I'm completely against it. And then, as the episode goes on, where they have to defend the whole Oceanside group from this herd of walkers that's attacking them coming from the ocean, they kind of all work together as like a unit. And then, a part of them thinks, you know what, if they're really serious about taking on the Saviors, then we could actually do it. Maybe we can actually stop the Saviors. Maybe we can actually defeat them. But, their leader is kind of like a little bit of like what Ezekiel did towards the beginning of the second half of the season. We're just like, no, we're not going to be involved in this. You can't win. Like, appeasement is the only way that we're going to win. But as we saw later on in the season, Ezekiel eventually learned through the death of Benjamin that it was necessary to fight back against the Saviors, and that is why he takes Rick up on his offer to join them. And, at this point, I would just guess that, Oceanside is probably going to back them up at the last minute, because after Rick showing them what they can do and everything, I think it's pretty safe to say that they have them on their side. So with that being said, the all-out war would likely consist of Oceanside, the scavenger group that they meet. I think, what is it, the second episode of the mid-season. Hilltop, the Kingdom, and of course Alexandria and the Hilltop. A big group for All Out War, considering that it was just the Kingdom and the Hilltop and Alexandria that went up against Negan, but clearly a big group, so making this whole All Out War conflict massive, as I've said previously. But and then the biggest WTF moment has to be when Rick's group gets back to Alexandria and Dwight is there in the cell and Rosita's just like, he wants to help, and I'm just like, now we know that All Out War is for sure happening, because now Dwight has come, and Rick, and the whole episode just ends with Rick just says, get on your knees and everything. And I just love the parallel between this episode versus last season's episode right before the finale, when Dwight shoots Daryl in the shoulder and he says, oh yeah, you'll be all right. And I just like how the role is reversed in this case, because you have Daryl wanting to go straight up and just kill Dwight, and then Rick just holding him back, just like, no, well, let's hear what he has to say. Maybe he has some sort of proposition here. But just the fact that now Dwight wants to fight with them and everything, I thought it was going to happen a little bit earlier on, like once they got to the Kingdom, like it did in the comics. But the fact that he wants to do it now just like makes me know that, this all-out war conflict is real. It's definitely going to happen, and it just makes me really pumped for the finale. But yeah, overall, it was a really great episode. I liked it a lot. I love what they're doing with the story. I'm very, very much looking forward to the finale and how this whole conflict that's been bubbling, this whole rise up, this whole march to war is going to bubble into the all-out war that's going to follow our characters into next season, and how Negan is going to have to deal with this rebellion of all these groups going up against him. So let me know what you guys thought of episode 15, Something They Needed. And in a way, Something They Needed is like, it's sort of I think directed towards Sasha and maybe the Oceanside group, where it's just like this whole last effort, this push conflict is something that they need to go up against Negan and everything. But like I said, I'm very much looking forward to this finale. I think it's going to be great. Thankfully it's not going to leave off in a cliffhanger like last season, hopefully. And maybe not, and as in, cliffhanger, obviously it's going to be like, they're going to leave us off with just stuff to look forward to for next season. That's obvious with any season finale. But I think it should probably end with just Negan saying, like maybe quoting himself from the comics, just like, okay, we're going to war now. And it's like Negan coming to the realization that this declaration of war is real and that they should do it. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought of The Walking Dead episode 15. Maybe any thoughts on the finale, any moments that you thought were really good. Like button, and of course subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video, which will be the season finale. And of course, any other videos, I'm trying to think. We got Fast and Furious 8 coming. We'll see. I'll probably see if I can go out and see that, get a review going for that. I know Power Rangers and Chips also came out. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to see any of those yet or anything else that's come out. But I'll keep you guys posted on that. But yes, next Sunday, you'll be here for the Season 8 finale of The Walking Dead. So I will see you guys in the next video. So will Lucille, and adios.